So some people ask, well, what if you want to give every student in your class an individual file with their name on it? That makes it really hard for them to share files because we can actually print the name on the file indelibly, so that even if they get a file from a friend, they won't be able to change the name. They'll simply have to do their own work. We can also make it even a little harder for them because we can take certain values that are in the file and make them a little bit different for every student. And we can even insert blank rows and columns. So I'm going to show you all of that. But first, for the roster has to be in this order: first name, last name, and email. It doesn't matter actually what these column headings are, but they have to be in the first row here. And they have to be in this order: so first name, then last name, then email. That's all you need for your roster. So I'll go ahead and close that. Now let's look at the assignment. And in this assignment, let's say we wanted to vary things up a little bit so that every student got slightly different numbers so we could kind of catch some cheating. We'll go over here, and let's say we're going to look at these remember, you have to work with constants, so let's say we look at these midterm grades, and we'll go ahead and paint those standard colors purple. That way they'll be a little bit different for every student, and you'll see that in the final version. Okay, I'll go ahead and save that. Great. Now I'm ready to begin. That was kind of the setup. All right, so instead of single student, I'm going to pick entire roster. And it's reminding me that those column headings have to be first name, last name, and email on the roster. And then it's suggesting that I should shift formulas, which I'll do so you can see what that looks like, and that I should shift values. That's the purple stuff where the numbers are going to be slightly different per student. Then I'll go ahead and create the start file. And I need to find a coded answer key file. So that was the file that I was just working with, which was this one. See a little purple in there? And then I need to choose a roster, which is also in here. You can see first name, last name, email. And now I need to pick a location to save the files. And you really should, give this some thought because you don't want to just have them all over the place. So it's probably a good idea to create a new folder. And we'll call this beginner test or roster test. Okay, choose that. And away we go. Now this is a good time to go get a cup of coffee. Please do not do anything else with Scoreboard, or actually with your computer while it's doing this. Don't go start browsing the web or anything else. That was pretty quick. It's not a big assignment, so it processed 10 assignments because my roster had 10 students on it. And now let's go see what that looks like. So let me exit here, and I'll take you into that beginning roster test and take you into one of the files. So you can see the student's name now is on the file, individual student name, and this can't be edited, right? This page is locked, so they really can't change that. Their name also appears at the top of every worksheet. They could try to change it here, but it wouldn't matter. It still wouldn't have changed on the summary. And you'll notice also that these numbers are actually a little bit different. I'll have to open another one so that you can see it. But before I get there, you'll also notice that we've inserted, see, there's rows, columns A, B, and C were inserted here, and rows 3, 4, and 5 were inserted. And they're kind of all inserted but minimized, so it doesn't use up your screen space. But this is going to be different for every student, and even a little bit different on every sheet, right? See how that got a different number of rows inserted in that one. But anyway, let's open up another student so you can see it, because seeing is believing with this kind of stuff. And let's open another student here and go to that basic formulas tab. All right, and then we'll have to put those midterms kind of side by side so you can see it, because it was this midterm column. So you notice here, the grade is 70, the grade is 68, the grade is 87, the grade is 85, the grade is 67, the grade is 65, 73 to 75. So they really are different, but it's not obvious that those were the numbers that were changed. Why? Because when you paint it purple, it also tries to match the original formatting, including the rounding that was there. So that's kind of nice in terms of, and you can also see different number of rows were inserted for this student. So they're starting down here on 7, whereas this one started on 6. So even the formulas that they type are going to be slightly different per student. And that's kind of cool, right? Because it means they can't just turn to your student and say, what's the formula for that cell? They can still help each other, but they'll have to help each other sort of in a more sophisticated way, talking about what types of values are multiplied or added together in order to produce that result. And that's actually not a bad thing. At least I don't think so. Okay, and that's it for, and then you'll want to watch the next video, which shows how you would then upload all of these files to, say, Blackboard, just by highlighting them and then putting them as part of a Blackboard assignment. Blackboard will also let you, or Canvas will also let you download all those files in batch. And as long as you can get them downloaded in batch and it has the student identifying information on them, then our companion program here, that's also in here, called Recorder, this one here, is going to allow you to record the grades. Make sure that you actually put the same password. I don't have the same password here, but it should be the same password that you encoded the files with, and then you put your number of points, and then it will go through and it will record a grade for each student. I guess I could show it. Protection 2720. I think that's the password. Yeah. Okay. So let's do that as well. Obviously, the grades are going to be all zeros, but hopefully you get the idea, because they haven't actually done it. So I'll go in here, select all these files. And it's just going through and it's looking in each file for the grade. And then it wants to save the grade roll. So I'll just save it here. And there it is. And you can see what it's done. It's got the name of the original answer key that was used to generate each student file, the name of the student file, and obviously when you upload to Blackboard or download from Blackboard, or Canvas or whatever learning management system you use, they'll probably put some sort of, hopefully they'll append some student name or unique identifier that you can use to record your grades. Then it's pulling the student name. This is coming right out of a hidden sheet in the file that they can't change. So that's the real name. So if these two don't match, right, it's a little suspicious. And their email, which again is coming right out of a hidden file that they can't change. And then they get their grade as a percentage. So you see the email and the grade, and then email and the grade as points, not a percentage. And then we have some information about charts. If you did have charts, since charts don't grade in real time, what you do get here is the account of the actual number of charts and the expected number and the percentage that the students completed of each chart. So get lots of information. There's also a rejected tab. If there's a problem with any of the files, then that'll appear on the rejected tab. For example, they turn in a numbers file or something rather than an Excel file. Well, we can't process it, but we're not going to just have the program die at that point. That's going to be recorded here so that you can get back to those students. So I hope that's helpful. And as I said, you want to watch the next video, which talks about how to post develop in Blackboard.